Okay, in this question we're asked to look at the number of MP3 players in a family. So we're given some data that's being collected and put in a table. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 MP3 players, and we're told how many families own that number of MP3 players. So the number of families that have no MP3 players is 2. The number that have 1 we don't know yet. The number that have 2 MP3 players is 5. The number that have 3 is 12. And the number that have 4 in 5. We're also told that there's 70 in total. Now there's 2 stages to this question. First of all, we're going to have to work out this missing number here. Now to do that, we've got to be really careful that we remember that this isn't just 2 MP3 players, because we've got 5 families that own 2 MP3 players. So altogether, well, we've got one family that owns 2, then another family that owns 2, then another family that owns 2. So altogether we've got 5 lots of 2 from there. We've got 2 families that own none, so their total number of MP3 players is 0 between them. We've got 12 families that own 3, so their total number of MP3 players is 36. And we've got 5 families that own 4, so their total number is 20. We need to get this to add up to 70. At the moment it doesn't. At the moment it adds up to 66. So we think about what number needs to go in there to make that add up to 66. Well, the number that needs to go in there is 4. So 1 times what gives us 4? That's just 4 in there as well. So this now adds up to 70. That's 2 marks for that first stage of the question. Now we need to work out the average number of MP3 players per family. So we want to work out the number of MP3 players altogether, shared out between how many families we've got. We already know that we've got 70 MP3 players. Adding this up, 2 and 4 is 6, and 5 is 11, and 12 is 23, and 5 is 28. So we've got 70 MP3 players between the 28 families. So altogether that's 2.5 MP3 players each. So that's the first part of the question done. It's part A. Now for part B, we're asked to use the data handling cycle to comment on the question, are families with a higher income more likely to have more MP3 players? So his hypothesis is that families with a higher income have more MP3 players. So to test this, the first thing you need to do is do a survey of some description. So he needs to go out and collect data about what he's interested in, which is first of all the income of the family, and also the number of MP3 players. Okay, once he's got this data, because he's looking for a relationship between the two, he's then gonna, or he could, it's most sensible for him to put his data on a scatter graph to display the data. There are other things he could use, but because we're looking for a link between this and this, it's sensible to say he should use a scatter graph. Now, once he's done that, the third stage is to look for correlation. So look for a relationship between the two. And then comment on his hypothesis. So if he works out that families with a higher income have more MP3 players, if he's got a positive correlation, then his hypothesis is correct. If he works out that there's no relationship between income and MP3 players, he'll have negative correlation. Sorry, he'll have no correlation. If it turns out that a lower income family has more MP3 players, then that would be negative correlation. But you don't need to comment on any of those. All you need to say is just this bit here. So actually 3 marks for that bit of the question.